Welcome to those in countries around the world aboard naval ships at sea. Most importantly, thank you for your service. If the ball is up, the game is on. The Warriors win the tap.
When that occurs, like we saw in the first defensive play, is that you convert that into some positive numbers on offensive end.
Curry catch and shoot three. Good grief. Wiggins picked up by Morris. Couple of Jayhawks crossing blades. Into Green, wraparound pass, a whistle, and a hard foul. Looney will go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. George trying to post on Green. Great contest by Green, better offense by Paul George. That is not an easy shot. Top side to Bledsoe for three. Zoo with another rebound as the Warriors mismatched inside, and he makes him pay. Zubac's 4 points and 4 rebounds. A couple of those came on that last possession. Again, Jayhawk on Jayhawk. Senior to the rim, counted out a foul. Don McLean mentioned it during the pregame show. I 100% agree. I thought the game against the Pistons was the best 12:30 start we have seen from the Clippers. Meanwhile, Payton II flushes it in. Man going to call his own number perhaps, makes a risky pass, intercepted by Payton II, drives in on George off the window and in. What a tough shot, it falls, his second basket.
It's like Terrence Mann did right there, because long arm of the law, they'll make you pay.
Morris, and it falls, a second three for Marcus Morris. Ibaka picked up by Porter into the paint. Floater is good, and the Clippers look on point. Jim Jackson. I imagine he'll be just fine when it's all said and done. Porter misses, but nice second effort there by the Warriors. Back to Curry for three. And when they were at their peak, and I'm not saying they aren't right there now, ninth already for the Clippers. And now the Clippers get it right back. Bledsoe behind the defense, gets to the rim and lays it in. Clippers could just clean things up. They might create a little separation. You know you need it when you have a guy like Steph Curry on the other side for three. Offline, rebound tapped up and in by Bielitsa. Wiggins, invited baseline by George, gets to his spot, puts up a tough shot off the window. It cyclones around the cylinder.
But all that's created also, too, on the defensive end of the court.
Zubac checks in. Bledsoe takes a seat after seeing Bielitsa post him. Meanwhile, Curry challenges Zoo and floats it in. George on the switch, greeted by Bielitsa, gets deep into the paint and lays it in.
Paul George and getting to his spot, reversing course, and then getting down the lane.
Bielitsa doubled, leaving Toscano Anderson wide open for the layup.
In that position, that just opened up that backdoor opportunity for the Warriors.
George taking matters into his own hands. Down the lane, misses point blank, but they beat Zubac, able to tap it in. Here with the Warriors, feeds it to Poole, back to Chiozza. Giant stride down the lane, ladles it to Green, and he lays it in, tying up the score at 34. Bledsoe in handcuffs after picking up his dribble. Finds George, picked up by Wiggins. Rises from 20. All cotton for Paul George. Starting to warm up. He and over to Man. Risky pass all the way.
Saw it.
And Poole in for the flush. 11 turnovers for the Clippers. Have been able to get there rather easily so far. Curry, great look at a three. Yep, you knew that was going down. And now the Warriors lead by one. And the Warriors draw first blood here in the second half. Good ball movement for the Clippers. George attacks and knocks it down. 14 for Paul George.
Yep.
Curry comes off a maze of screens, goes back to Green, not going to shoot it. Poole will. Misfires. Rebound, a great one inside by Looney. Back to Curry. The floater is good. George, a good contest by Wiggins, ultimately blocked. Curry the other way. Sidesteps George. Fakes the pass, delivers it on point behind the back to Green. Make the shot. Wiggins gets behind the defense and then retracts. And now the Warriors reset. Curry, deep three. It's good. If there's ever a player that can sense blood in the water.
They're starting this possession.
Zoo tries to dump it to George, intercepted by Curry. Curry calls his own number and lays it in. Timeout Clippers. They're second in the first 4 minutes of this third. Zoo's been in the lane for a minute, goes to the rim with the left hand and lays it in. Maybe got away with 3 seconds. We're not complaining. Ivica Zubac now 8 points and 8 rebounds.
It was
If you would have told me the Clippers would have 17 turnovers here in the third quarter and they only trail now by 5, I'd say, where do you sign? Mark, only trail by 5. The door has been open for the Clippers. Paul George tries to crash through a pair of defenders, works it up top to Bledsoe for 3. Their last 3 shots here to third quarter. George, the drive and the dish, and that is turnover number 7 on George. Poole races back the other way and lays it in. George into the paint, finds an open Terrence Mann, a catch and shoot 3, book it! And the Clippers cut the lead in half, 60-50. Mann accelerates and plays back to Hartenstein. Turnover Clippers, Porter Jr. to Poole for 3 in transition. It's good. It's a 5-point swing. George hesitates for a moment, picked up by Wiggins. Fades, fires, fills it up 17 for Paul George, and now the Poole gets a great screen from Green, comes up firing. That's back-to-back triples for Jordan Poole, 33% on the year. In the previous 2 games, George picked up by Poole. And that's back-to-back buckets for Paul George. He has 19. 6 now on the switch by Hartenstein with a couple of threes, swiveling away, trying to find Curry and does. 5 to shoot. Back to Poole for 3. His 3rd in about 2 minutes. And Poole has erupted with 14 total points, and the Warriors now lead 72-66. George retaliates. Oh, book it! Paul George has made his last 3 shots from the field. He's 8 of 18 overall. Poole for 3. Oh, he's so good he can bank them in. Kennard to Mann, back to Kennard. Aggressively goes into the paint, loses the ball. Turnover number 23. Curry playing the playmaking role, gives to Porter. He lays it in.
As soon as he caught it without hesitation, dropped the dime cleanly inside.
Which is why I go back to thinking he's got to be the easiest superstar to play with. Oh, Coffee with a little kiss. If the Clippers were just terrible at protecting the ball today, they would have a 10-point lead. Curry down the lane. Are you serious? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
8 times this year, a team has had 25 or more turnovers. Only 1 team has won in that scenario. Porter for 3. Clippers in trouble. 82-70. Toscano Anderson spins his way down the lane, a bit out of control. Makes up for it up at the peak of his leap and lays it in. George drives on Wiggins, steps away from the basket. Oh, flings in a tough shot from 20. Paul George now with 24. Aggressively gets downhill. Now you swing it back outside to George. The Clippers cash cow. Good ball movement here. Bledsoe. Baseline drive. Goes reverse and lays it in. Clippers led early by 7. The turnovers caught up to them. Curry, deep 3. 5 threes for Steph Curry. He has 25. George, no. Bledsoe comes out of nowhere, the smallest player on the floor for the rebound. George relocates in the corner for 3. There we go. I believe he's made his last 3 from that corner against the Mavericks. 89-77. George with 27. Curry, great look at a 3. He has 6 of them. After picking up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter, picked up his 3rd early in the second. Curry does it again. And Steve Kerr went out of his way to mention how he's a two-way player. Can defend the wings and, of course, can score. As George knocks down the triple, 98-80. Clippers turn right around tomorrow and play the Pelicans, a team where they led by 20 in the first half last week. Curry, the touch is unrivaled, 33 for him.
He's had some on-court activity. That means he will suit up tomorrow.
Great ball movement inside, starting with Coffee to Hartenstein. It's another busy week for them, as it has seemed to be throughout the start of this year. It is New Orleans tomorrow, Sacramento Wednesday, Lakers Friday. A flurry to close the 3rd creates the separation. And oh yeah, and that guy Steph Curry.